I don't want to run away from Saturn, Rahu, any of this stuff. No, I want all of them in my heart, and I want them to be loving, sexing each other, doing whatever they want to do, because they are basically grahas. So they are not actually planets, because planet is a English word, and to us a planet is a physical body. But in Sanskrit the word is graha. Graha is something which holds. Graha is basically like a gravitational force. There are 7 physical planets. There are 7 colors of the light spectrum which are visible to us, Vibgyor, like the rainbow. There are 7 chakras. All of this links to each other. There is so much there which gets left unseen just because everyone's focusing on the pain and then healing the symptoms, not understanding the cause.
Do you think it makes sense for us to go deeper with the astrology thing? Or
I can try. I can 100% try. I can 100% try, because what that helped me basically figure out my reason for still being alive. Like, I did not know how the am I still alive after all the different kind of shit which happened, and then I studied it so much that now I'm trying to help other people with it, and then I might even end up studying it in a very different way in the future. But the thing is, it helps you understand what is the constituency of your energy overall. So it helps you understand what are the aspects of consciousness that you are made up of. So for example, somebody like me, the way I'm made up, even if tomorrow they tell me, here's this company which is doing 500 billion, all right, in basically their capital valuation is one of the world's biggest companies, and there you can become a CEO. We give you the position, the interview, everything. You are so awesome, blah blah blah. We give you the position. I know I won't do it. And I don't even need guts to say no over there. It's just I so simply know that that is not for me, because my constituency is not like that. The problem is, most people are continuously living patterns, all right, and they are not able to see what pattern they are living. Whether they encounter it in relationships, whether they encounter it in their life, whether the way they are with themselves, they are living in patterns, because the soul is supposed to see those patterns and grow out of it. It comes for the emotional experience of the pattern, but it doesn't come to stay in the pattern. Many people, like majority, ends up staying in the pattern, and that is why they keep going through the shit again and again and again. All right. Astrology will basically help a person understand that why are they the way they are. So for example, somebody like me with the kind of intelligence which I have to be fine knowing that I might not be able to find worthy compatriots to become friends with. All right, it's a very lonely place to be, because the way even my friend oriented positions are is that I'll keep losing friends with time, because my core constituency of myself is that I am somebody who will always be working on myself. So if somebody today becomes friends with me, because today there is some common ground between us, because like attracts like, it's not that opposites attract, like attracts like, then what ends up happening is that I keep doing whatever I naturally feel like doing, which leads me to become more of whoever I am supposed to be, and the other person gets left behind. And I would love to have friends. I would really, really love to have friends, because anyways, coming from an army, childhood, etc., we have no childhood friends, nothing, no hometown, nothing. So I would love for that. And it doesn't matter that if somebody grows more or grows less. For me, that doesn't matter. But then can the other person also think the same way in today's world? So basically, because see, it's called Jyotish, using the word astrology, and it means, Jyoti, which connects you with the light of God, because it's the out of all the Vedas, all right, out of all the Vedic sciences which have been given, this one is called the eye of God, basically, is the eye of the Vedas, because it helps you in seeing through time and space, which is the matrix of reality where we have been born, not the matrix which is spoken about in social media that has been built within this one, but I'm talking about the actual matrix in which existence is taking form. Astrology helps you see through that. So everything from people's, like, the only reason why I'm now thinking of studying it is not even just because it is something which interests me. I'm starting to think of studying it like an astrologer now, even though I've already started doing the map of your soul stuff, because I don't want to do it like an astrologer. I do it in my own way, but I'm thinking to even do it in that way, because for example, I want to be in the position where I can help remove pain from the world. So there are some situations, some clients of mine, where so much has happened which was never in anyone's control, and they're still doing great. But I would love it if I had the ability to, let's say maybe some more things, or know some more things about them. Already I have my own way of coaching and trying to help people, which you have seen in the Indore meetup and stuff, which is, all on the spot and from my life experiences and learning and stuff like that. But with astrology, if there is a way where, let's say, if somebody ends up having an autistic child, all right, What is the reason? Where are they coming from? That child, which world is he coming from? What is his purpose over here? If I can understand all of that, then it just shortens the path for somebody, basically. So from that aspect, I might want to learn it like an astrologer as well. But right now, I learn it. I've learned it in the way of understanding it psychologically, energetically, in so many other ways, and also because I want all those bands of consciousness to explode in me. I don't want to run away from Saturn, Rahu, any of this stuff. No, I want all of them in my heart, and I want them to be loving, sexing each other, doing whatever they want to do. Because they are basically grahas. So they are not actually planets, because planet is a English word, and to us a planet is a physical body. But in Sanskrit the word is graha. Graha is something which holds. Graha is basically like a gravitational force. All right. So, how Saturn is holding things, Rahu is holding things in this particular universe. So, they are not necessarily planets, they are grahas, which are in a way bands of consciousness, the way I understand it. Because there are 7 physical planets, there are 7 colors of the light spectrum which are visible to us, Vibgyor, like the rainbow. There are 7 chakras. All of this links to each other. And these 7 are the bands of consciousness which are existent within us as particular levels of awareness in particular fields of the world. And then there is something which is Rahu and Ketu, which are like a tug of war of Karam, which are leading us forward and taking us backward, and leading us forward and taking us backward. And then you have the sun and the moon, which is different, where basically the sun is from where our souls come, from where the true Atma comes, and the moon is basically the, let's just call it, I mean, I'm giving a very small explanation for everything right now and just one aspect of things, but let's just call moon the radio transmitter, which is receiving all the grahas consciousness and then sending it through us, because your moon is very different from my moon. All right. But the 7 grahas are being shared by everyone in different ways, but the way we perceive it is based on how much we are trapped by our own moon. Because the way our moon is positioned on our chart, it signifies how mentally we are going to receive and perceive the world. So the way in which every Pandit of India is doing Vedic astrology is basically, it's a fear based marketing model to sell pujas and fake gems.
So I've considered a lot, and basically what I have heard about my own chart is my sun is debilitated, and I have a very strong moon. So the basic two things that I've taken, if I have to generalize whatever I've heard over the years, is basically these two things. When my sun is debilitated by two other planets, I am not so sure which ones.
Sun doesn't get debilitated by any planet, by the way.
That's what I've.
It's the king, and it doesn't get debilitated by any planet. But yes, it does get debilitated in a particular sign, but it doesn't get debilitated by any planet. It's the strongest.
Yeah, because I've always.
And even these interpretations, sorry, I'm cutting you short, but even these interpretations of debilitated and exalted, etc., are misunderstood the way people learn astrology today. They think debilitated means, okay, it's lesser in power. They don't understand. They're dealing with forces which are way beyond your comprehension, all right? In a debilitated state, something could actually lead to a much better outcome, also, by the way. Because let's say somebody is coming from a Leo constitution, all right, where the sun is the ruler of that sign, all right, and let's say their sun gets placed very powerfully, and so it is also ruling their sign, and it gets placed very powerfully as a planet also. Now, unless there's a bunch of other stuff which is balancing that power out, you know what will end up happening? That person's ego and pride will be so much that they will burn through everything just like the sun, and nothing will be left with them, including themselves. So, if somebody is a Leo, and then if they have a sun which is not too powerful, is in check, or even debilitated, it could actually do better, seeing everything else. So it's not as simple as they make it sound that, oh, आपका तो राहु खराब है, or this or that bull shit, man. The best thing about Rahu and Ketu is that even the world's best astrologers can't make an accurate prediction with them, because otherwise, why the hell do they have this space in the universe which they do? So they delude the seers as well. All right. So it's better to not try to predict. It is better to understand who they are and then integrate with that, become one with that. So that whether it deludes you or whether it shows you truth, either way, you still benefit. And the way you benefit is in the field of awareness and understanding. So pain and suffering goes away from the human experience. It's not that you will win. Because let's say if I understand those energies and one of those energies me up, I'll be in a place of no friction or resistance because I understand it. I contain it in my awareness. Alright? Otherwise, I'll be running around trying to find a solution or cursing it that, okay, this planet me up or this, so that they don't care. They're doing their job. Just like how you're breathing. You don't care that you're breathing, but you are breathing. And it's the most repetitive action which you've done throughout your life. And you don't care about it. It's like the most basic form of karma which we have. So even they have their own karma and they're just doing that. And actually, it's for the benefit of everyone if people are able to understand it. Even the ones with the shittiest of lives, there is so much there which gets left unseen just because everyone's focusing on the pain and then healing the symptoms, not understanding the cause.